Hey everybody, Samantha. Almost 6:30. All right. We'll wait to officially start. I'll wait till my phone kicks over to 6:30. Hey, great to see so many people on here. 6:30. All right, you guys ready to start? Let's do it. Start. So we've got a tough one today. Not gonna lie. It was about 6:20. I was downstairs and I was thinking about the power of an appointment. Because I did not want to hop on my bike. Hey, Marion. I'm sure it's never happened to you. But anyway, I was thinking, it's like, obviously well, I guess I did have a choice. But in my mind, I was framing it as I had no choice. And I was thinking about the power of an appointment and how, maybe these things like this we need to think about as appointments. I know if you make an appointment to run with your friend at 6 a.m. twice a week, you show up, right? Because it's like, well, you told your friend you'd be there and you're going to be there unless you're sick or injured. The consistency is really the key in everything. And so, I was just thinking about those areas that we're not consistent in. How do we become more consistent in? So certainly having appointments is good, right? We tend to make it to appointments. So anyway, I'm here, you're here, we're all here. Today's workout. It's a hard one. So if you're not fresh, if you're feeling really tired, you may want to make it not so hard. If you're new to any kind of harder cycling, you should probably tone it down a little bit. So in the warm-up, go ahead and get yourself in easy gear, and then every minute or so just switch to a harder gear. If you have a big day tomorrow, you might want to take this a little bit easier. So let's talk about how you make it easier. So the main set is 5 sets of 5.5 minutes. The first minute is aerobic in our gear of choice, so mid aerobic. So it's not low end recovery aerobic, and it's not that top end of the aerobic, but it is kind of that solid middle. So it's moderate, but you're still breathing. Still, you feel like you're working, but not super hard. Then we're going to go minute 30, which is tempo, which is right above our aerobic threshold. So this is where it starts to become maybe just slightly uncomfortable. The breathing rate rises. So minute 30 here, and then we go into a minute 30 at our best sustained effort. So this is like above 100% of your functional threshold power. We want to treat these going as hard as we can, not just for one, but for all 5. So you may need to hold back a little bit in the first couple so that you have that same amount of energy in the last couple. But essentially, in this minute 30, you're going to really feel that tension build up in your quads. You're going to start to feel that fatigue. So this is where the minute 30 and best sustained pace would be. You want to dial that down if you're not in the place for a tough workout. You're going to sweat a lot, so make sure you have a towel. Make sure you have hydration. And then we go into a minute 30 recovery. And then out of that recovery, we go mid aerobic again. So it's not a ton of recovery. We're doing basically 4 minutes of work to a minute 30 recovery, where, say, building up to this, our work to recovery was a lot more even. What also makes this workout hard is we go into the best sustained pace by riding a minute 30 tempo. So we're aerobic, we're tempo, so we're fairly high, and then we go really hard. That makes it harder than if we would had like some really easy. If we did a minute easy and then we did a minute and 30 as hard as we could go and then back to super easy, we're only spending a minute 30 up there. And so it's not nearly as hard as what we're doing today. It's not an impossible workout. We did it last week. Patricia and I don't know if Patricia's, are you here, Patricia? Hopefully I didn't scare you off. I was fine the rest of the day. I mean, I wasn't wiped out, but it definitely was a great workout. So these workouts are good. They're good for us to push ourselves because it makes us stronger cyclists. The other thing that I would tell you is, especially in the tempo and in the best sustained pace, don't be afraid to switch gears. So in the minute aerobic, we are pretty much in that gear of choice. I have to calibrate my compy trainer, so give me a second. So in the aerobic, we're gear of choice. So that's pretty much one gear. But when we go to tempo, you might be toggling between gears. Maybe it starts to become a little bit too hard. And so you go one gear easier for 15 seconds just to have like a micro recovery. And then when we go into the best sustained pace, you might even stand up every once in a while to deliver more power to your pedals. So I need more tension on my flywheel. All right, close enough. So in best sustained pace, you might be pushing a harder gear, and then you'll get to this point where it's just too much fatigue. So go down a gear or stand up for a few pedal strokes. It's okay within that minute and 30 to take a micro recovery to the point where you start to feel a little bit better. And then you can go back to that harder gear and push, that upper end. And then whenever we're in tempo, a lot of times we get that same thing where it starts to rise above, uncomfortable into something that's more hard. Just you on Zoom. You got Zoom all to yourself. You can cuss and swear. No one will hear you. So anyway, don't be afraid to switch gears, right? So before we get into the big main set, we're going to do 2 times 45 seconds, low cadence, 2 times 45 seconds, high cadence. On the low cadence, the first one's going to be just moderate effort. And then on the second one, I want you to switch to a harder gear because I want to bring up the intensity. And then we're going to do the same thing with the high cadence. And that's going to act as a bit more of a warm-up. So rather than just super easy cycling, add in a little bit of intensity before we get started. So we are 8 minutes, 20 seconds in. If you haven't already, let's start to bring up that intensity in your warm-up. Maybe you do that just by bringing your cadence up. Maybe you do it by switching gears. Oh, the other thing that was a huge help last week, and you should take a little time to set it up right now, is your music choice. Man, when you get into that hard stuff, it's really helpful to have some kind of songs that motivate you. All right, let's make our way to the big chain ring and get in your easiest gear. Remember, that means you're not using the 2 gears that are next to your, on the inside next to your spokes if you're in the big chain ring. Let's spin here, and then we're gonna, when we start, I want you to shift gears, 2, 3 gears, maybe 4 gears. Find a tension on the pedals. It's pretty strong, but I still want the effort to be moderate. Okay, we're going in 5 seconds. Ready, here we go. So switch down to a harder gear, 3, 4, nice. Find that tension. Bring your belly button in, elongate your spine. Really think about pushing through the pedal as opposed to just pushing down on the pedal. Think about pulling back on the bottom part of the pedal stroke. So maybe take a look at the gear you're in. And then next time we're gonna go 1 gear harder and even bring up the cadence a little bit. We wanna be somewhere between 60 and 70 if you have cadence on your bike. Okay, we're gonna go into a recovery here. Ready, go. So just try switching to the small chain ring. And then let your legs spin. Not really worried about your cadence here. Just want to keep your legs moving. So when we go back to the big chain ring, which we can start going there now, I'm going to switch to easier on my right side, like 1, 2, 3. When my legs start going really fast, I'm going to go on the big chain ring. And I'm going to go another 1 click on my rear just to get into a nice, easy rhythm. Okay, we're going to do this again. I want you to go to harder gear. Ready, go. So switch down to that harder gear. Yes, you should feel more tension in the pedal stroke. You should definitely have more effort needed to get that pedal stroke around. You should feel your heart rate rising a bit. Nice job, recover. So just a really slow leg cadence. You can switch to the small chain ring. So the reason you can just switch right there is because without adjusting the back is you're just going super slow and your legs aren't spinning super fast. You don't have that big jump to your knee when you miss shift. So that's why you can do that one there. All right, let's work our way back to the big chain ring. Actually, we're going to do high cadence, so you might stay in the small chain ring. So you figure out which gear you want to start in. If you want to start in the big chain ring, then go ahead and get there now. If you want to start in the small chain ring, that's fine. Okay, high cadence, so let's get to 100. Ready, go. If you don't have cadence, you can match my legs. Take a peek at that gear you're in. Next time I want you to go 1 gear harder. So if you're in the small chain ring, it may mean you need to go up to the big chain ring next time. When you feel that bounce, try to smooth it out by our techniques. Bringing your belly button in the spine, relaxing your elbows, elongating, pushing your belly. Okay, relax. So just go ahead and slow it down. Shift to an easier gear. Definitely starting to get a little sweat going. Hydrate. Okay, 1 more high cadence. I want you to choose a harder gear. And I want you to push yourself. You may not get to 100 cadence, but So I want you to focus on trying to get a faster cadence than 90, but in a harder gear. So this is where a lot of times just a quick peek back at your cassette and your gears, see where you're at, can help you when you switch gears. Okay, ready? We're going 2 seconds. Ready? Go. All right, go ahead and recover. So nice and easy. Wherever that recovery gear is for you. 45 seconds. Get some hydration. Set up your music if it's not already there. Grab some hydration. Okay, if you know what your gear of choice is, start working towards it. Going in 5 seconds, we're going a minute. You ready? Here we go. So get your cadence up, shift into your gear of choice. Remember, this should feel moderate. Should definitely just be breathing a little bit. You can still talk. There's not too much concentration needed right here. You should be able to spin above 90 without really concentrating on it. I noticed that when I go to tempo, then there's concentration in the sense of concentrating to stay at 90 cadence. When we go into best sustained pace, there's concentration on just keeping the pedals going, right? So it's a different kind of concentration. So see if you notice that. So as we move from aerobic to our tempo, it may only be one gear change harder, and maybe two. Maybe you toggle between those two. Ready? We're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Tempo. So slightly uncomfortable. You can still have a conversation, but we know that we're working. If you notice your cadence drop below 90, then use your focus to bring it above 90. If this doesn't feel quite hard enough, you can go one gear harder. And maybe only stay here 15 seconds and you notice your effort level rise. And then maybe go back down a gear. So for me, when I go one gear harder, my cadence drops to 87. So now I gotta work hard to bring it back to 90. And as I get it back to 90, I really feel the effort rise. Now I'm gonna go one gear easier, and boom, it's just gonna, cadence jumps up to 97. Just felt myself take a big breath, so like a bit of a micro recovery there. All right, in 20 seconds, we're doing best sustained pace. So sometimes I like to stand up in the beginning of it, just to get more power in the pedals. So I'll probably switch gears, 2, 3 gears, and stand up and sit down and switch to easier gear. Okay, ready? Going 3, 2, 1, go. This is your time to work. Your concentration is going to be on continuing to work hard. Cadence can definitely drop into the 80s or below 80s. Think about doing like a climb right now, or otherwise you're on a flat, but you're working really hard. Maybe you can see like your speed right now, and you can use that as a measure on your next few. Or maybe you're looking at heart rate. Three, two, one, recover. Whew. One down. Nice job. Whew. All right, this minute and a half recovery will go quick. So make sure you get hydrated. Try to take some deep breaths. All right, 20 seconds to go again. So start thinking about what your gear of choice is and start moving yourself there. Or at least like 1 or 2 gears away from your gear of choice. All right, minute aerobic. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So we definitely want our cadence above 90 here. All right, 15 seconds to go to tempo. This is right above our aerobic threshold. Slightly uncomfortable. Ready? Here we go. So this is a place where you typically have to concentrate to get your cadence to 90. It wants to drop because you added a little more resistance. This is a good place to ride because you should be at least 1 gear harder than your gear of choice. But by forcing yourself to a 90 cadence, over time you'll be improving what your gear of choice is, which means you'll ride faster, given the same effort. All right, we're going with 15 seconds. Big effort. 10. 3, 2, 1, go. You know you're doing it right if you don't want to talk. And if you really have to focus on pushing the pedals, you should feel your legs start to build with fatigue. Fight back against that inner self-talk that tells you to quit. Fifteen seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover. Good job. My arms are sweating. All right. Coming up on the midway point. Whew. Man, make sure you're in a really nice, easy gear. Now, it's a good time to reflect on how those two felt. If you don't have it in you, you can back off a little bit. If you're up for the challenge, you can keep pushing. Right? It's your own workout. The intent of this workout is to be difficult. So if you're ready to meet that, we got 3 left. Don't worry, 10 minutes after you're done, the pain will all be gone. All right, we're getting ready to start. So think about your gear of choice. Get yourself like a gear or two away from that. Maybe bring your cadence up in your recovery. Going on 5. I told you these minute 30s go by quick, don't they? Here we go. Minute aerobic. Gear of choice. All right, we're getting ready to go to tempo. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go for tempo. Houston, we're a go for tempo. So maybe try pushing that gear that's a little bit hard to catch 90 cadence. Push it for like 15, 20 seconds and toggle back to the easier gear. All right, 15 seconds we go, and then we'll be on the down slope. We'll have finished more than we have left to go. Little mental games. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Minute 30. Big effort. Use your body position. Elongate your spine. Press your butt into your seat. It's like doing seated squats. Five seconds. 2, 1, recover. Oh, yeah. Oh, good job. I don't know what you said earlier, Marion. I got to read it. Oh, it's difficult. All right. Sweat is beating off my nose. Oh, man. Nice job. Now we only have 2 left. Whew. It's easier to do this with other people, even though we're not in the same room. Yes, mentally, it's as hard mentally as it is physically. That's for sure. You know you're doing it right then. I swear, on these sets, the minute and 30 gets shorter. I know that's not possible, except for the Einstein's theory of relativity and time. Ay. All right, people, start making your way towards your gear of choice. Whew, here we go. 2, 1, go. All right, bring your cadence up. I'm singing to myself. AC/DC. Money talks. All right, here we go. Minute 30 tempo. You know you found the right song when you're singing to yourself. All right, we're going in 7 seconds. 2, 1, go. Ah, 5 seconds. All right, recover. Whew. Nice job. Oh, man. I had a flashback to my Ironman in Kona that I'll share with you once I catch my breath. So recovery, just keep your legs moving. Doesn't have to be 90 cadence. Just don't stop pedaling. Whew. All right, last one. Whew. Start working your way towards your gear of choice. Remember, we're mid aerobic here. All right, we're on 8. Here we go. Ready to go. 1 minute, your choice. So there's a lot of great memories I have from my day in Kona, which took me 20 years to get there, which is why I soaked it all in. But one of them was straight away on the bike. You leave the King Kamehameha Hotel, you go up 1 block, Kalani Hill, just short, take a left, and there's just lots of people up there. I don't want to say thousands, but a lot, maybe 1,000. The noise is deafening. And as soon as I crested the hill, huge race speakers blasting AC/DC's Highway to Hell. And I was so caught up. One hand, I'm drumming, and I'm thinking to myself, I should probably concentrate on riding. And then I start doing that, and then my wheel goes like this. I'm like, oh shit, I better not crash in front of all these people. But to have that adrenaline was great. Okay, minute 30 tempo. To have that coming out of that, and then just have that energy of that song and the crowd and knowing where I was, but then also reminding myself I still had 111 and a half miles to ride. So I probably shouldn't spend it all on the first 5 blocks. you need to hydrate and you can, now's the time before we go a minute 30 all out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. Last 30 seconds. Make it count. Three, 2, okay, recover. Oh man. I think it went harder than last week. Maybe you hate listening to AC/DC, but I'm gonna challenge you on something. Next Thursday, have AC/DC's Thunderstruck available for you on your hardest repeat. There's something about the big thundering drums. Whew. Really, any kind of like hugely motivating song can really help you pull out the best in yourself. Oh man, that hurt. All right, I gotta give you at least 5 minutes to cool down. It's gonna put us around 49 minutes. So let's get in our small chain ring. Let's get in a gear where it's too easy to spin over 90. So let me see where I'm at. I'm at 96, 97, without any effort at all, right? Very little pedal tension. You almost have to slow down your legs right now, consciously, because it's too easy to spin. Okay, let's go 1 gear harder. We're gonna stay here for like 15, 20 seconds. And we're gonna go 1 gear harder again. Just wanna mix it up so we're switching gears so the cool down is not so boring. Good work, everyone, yes. For sure. All right, 1 gear harder. It's good that we had the appointment. Whew. All right, let's go 1 gear harder. And maybe now it's starting to become moderate. If it's above moderate, maybe go 1 gear easier. I can't even type. Your fingers are in lactic acid overload. All right, let's go 1 gear easier. Yeah. Sweat fest. Nice. AC/DC for next week. Thunderstruck. I wonder, and I think that I might be right on this, but I don't think you could go to a big time running event or triathlon, that had like a 30-minute window before the race starts when people are gathering, maybe longer. Triathlons are usually longer gathering point, like when they can blast the music and transition. But even like a rock and roll marathon, especially rock and roll, but something like that, and they're playing music. Let's go one gear easier. I would bet the odds of hearing an AC/DC song are like 99%, right? I mean, they record in the 70s and maybe 80s. You just, that music, it's just, it'll hype you up before a race, which is why they play it. I don't even think I'm a huge AC/DC fan, but maybe I am. Maybe I am more than I know. All right, we're gonna go 2 gears harder, and then we're just gonna stand up nice and easy for about 6 pedal strokes. Sit down, and just stay there for 20 seconds, then we'll go 1 gear easier. All right, 1 gear easier. Ooh, it's tough to stop sweating, isn't it? After all that, it's like wipe yourself off and it just keeps pouring out of you. 1 gear easier. All right, let's go 1 gear easier, and then just let your legs start spinning really slow. So 30 more seconds. All we're trying to do is kind of just go as slow as we can in a super easy gear. Monday, it's an aerobic workout, so it won't be so hard as this. Next week, we're not doing the same workout. I think it's like 8 by 45 seconds, so it'll probably be easier. All right, 49 minutes. Stop, unless you want to keep riding. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's good to see so many people. Thanks for the comments, Marion and Minta, the M&Mers. All right, see you guys.